What is up, ladies and germs? Welcome back for another video of We Draft Paper. This is episode 30, 30. Hitting 30 episodes of this thing, and it's been a blast. I love this. This is what this channel is based around of. And yeah, I'm MTG Flux. If you guys like what we do here, please like, comment, and subscribe. Trying to get to 100 subscribers by the time February concludes. So, please, any affection towards this channel or these videos is truly appreciated. So, today we got a Lorwyn Eclipse, and I had a really nice conversation with with a group of people there tonight, and I was expressing like the state of this format. I mean, I'm not a big on like kindred kind of things, but I think this set really works through that because there's a lot of direction you can go outside of just kindred. Ironically enough, I kind of find myself in a kindred, very kindred-y kind of deck, but it also has another layer to it that was really fun. I ended up going 1-1, and then I dropped because it was Valentine's Day, and your boy had some plans that he had to attend to. That being said, so we found ourselves in that space, but yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the video, and then yeah, please like, comment, subscribe. Appreciate you. All right, let's get into the first pick here. So, the deck was really good. I actually lost against the guy that ended up winning the trophy for the draft. So this deck actually was just pretty powerful. This first pack, my packs didn't open very well. So I did make a mistake here. So what ended up happening, the this Urchin, the Shadow Urchin, much better card, very splashable. It's just a stronger card. But the card is like fine. If I was drafting optimally, I would have picked it. But I also am looking at this Iron Shield Elf, and I opt to just take a very solid 2-drop to start me off and to almost more or less see if I can work through some elf things. And luckily for me, it ended up being open. So I valued the Scarblade Scout over the safe the safe right cavalry. In this spot, I think premium 2-drops, especially in your kindred, are important to optimize and draft at a high level. So taking really good 2-drop to a 2-drop. Some people are down on the Shield Elf, the Iron Shield Elf. I think the card's fantastic. I've had nothing but success with that card. It's an enabler. It just does a lot of cool things. Then we get super paid off here with the Loyalist. Morkent's Loyalist, having a Lord in Elves, which is great. B, like a recursion value-based kind of thing that the Elves decks wants to do. I'm actively looking for that enchantment, that elf enchantment that at the beginning of each upkeep, Surveil 1, and then you can tap 6, sack it, and then put elves equal to the amount of creatures in your graveyard, and it includes itself because it's a kindred enchantment. So, and which is a nice finisher in a lot of these elf style decks. Anyways, the Morkent's Loyalist is a nice card to just kind of like develop recursion and things like that. This pack was interesting here because I have some nice red removal, and there was a big consideration on just maybe going into a Jund kind of scenario. But already having a Morkent's Loyalist kind of gives me some direction of recursion and just value-based Gruul deck. So I was going actually in between the Forest Druid and then the recursion spell. Ended up going to the recursion spell. I actually didn't end up even playing it because my deck didn't need it. And you will eventually see why it didn't need it, because it really This was a really good valued deck. Like I lost, so I beat my first match. It was a mirror match, and they had the Morcant. I think it's the lady with the foot, with the feet picks. And I pick up the Flash 4-2 here, which actually played out really well in this deck as well. Any rate, she had that, and then she had the green champion, the elf champion, to where I'm like, man, she has two elf bombs, and I'm just like on elf value consistency. So we ended up getting there in two. However, like her deck was really good, and I just had to have the answers to the big stuff, or I die. And I drew well in that regard, and I had loops going, and I will show you what those loops look like here shortly when I draft those cards. But yeah, her deck was really good. But it was I just kind of lucked out. It was she's a great friend of mine as well, so like our games are always a great time, anyways. So here, Graveshifter. Graveshifter and the Morkent's Loyalist is kind of like a engine, so to speak. It's just a value engine. And this is what this deck does, period. It just has like recursion, just get your value off your cards. My Morkent's Loyalist kind of pumps things so it trades up more often than not. Like it just worked out really, really well. So that's what this deck was built around, and I felt really good getting that Grave Shifter in this spot. Another Scout here is not bad. I do like it more than the Lianas or whatever, the other 2-drop. And note that there's a Midnight Tilling in there as well. I don't know if I can wheel this pack because this was a pot of 10 or not, but always good to note those things. The Auntie's Sentence is fine, but so I'm considering the Nightmare Sower, not knowing what kind of instance I'm going to have or flash speed anything, which the only thing I had was the Archers. Vexing Hex, Requiting Hex. Nice pickup, but I ended up not playing as well. My removal was pretty good. I had 2 of the Blotouts, or the Blight Rots, and then 2 of the Exile, or for a cost of 2, or Blight 1. And then, or pay 3 or Blight 1, exile target creature. So removal is good. So as I go into the second match, I go up against a guy who's playing that white mythic elemental that flips into a black mythic elemental and has persist and then lifelink and everything. And I couldn't deal with it on one of the games. And then I got him in the second game I just ran him over. Like it was just really consistent curve out, and I just applied pressure the whole time. So we got there. So we're 1-1, and we go into the last match. It's back and forth the whole game, but he just hit bomb after bomb after bomb. He had the red champion, was starting just to fling stuff in, and I'm dealing with his stuff, and I ran out of gas as far as like all my removal. I'm pretty sure I was relying on some top decks that could have got there, and just didn't quite get there. And that's all right. They were good games, and he ended up winning the draft, so at least I didn't lose to some bum or just like a bad experienced game. I'm still concerned. So there's the Merfolk champion there, but I'm not looking to do any splashing or things with that, even though that would be some wild stuff that I would look to try to do. Seer is also another card that like I would consider splashing, kind of thinking about that Jund stuff, but I just choose to stay in my colors. This deals with more threats than just a 4-minute damage deal something. Premium 2-drop here with the Crackwood Safe Right, another Scarblade out, and a Scout, and then the Midnight Tilling. But we take the the uncommon elf and 2-drop in our colors. That just kind of written up how it was supposed to be. So feel good about where this is. Like the guy next to me, so I was being passed to by the guy that I ended up losing to. So we weren't in each other's way. He was more like Jeskai Elementals. And it was a little slow, so I was able to, like, there were certain games where I could just beat out and go nuts. I do like the Eulogist in this kind of deck, especially when I have like recursion things going on. The Pitiless Fist. This card pissed me off this draft because I am down on Pitiless Fists because it's just awkward. And more often than not, you're still trading with the problem that you have to fight the creature for, and it's just like not worth it. So I'm noting that just moving forward, just like the card's just like, I know it's premium green removal, pumps your creature, and then like you think about the perfect things, but through my experience, it just hasn't been good. Another Embrace, which is that 2-mana exile champion of the. So I end up passing the guy, the champion, the elemental champion, which I would say is probably like one of the worst. There's some combo things you can do with it, but it's like meh. But that being said, so I made my bed on that one. I do feel good about where we're at. I think that I'm doing what people more or less want to be doing optimally, and is just, if you see your kindred type being open, just run towards it, and another seer. I could have had a couple seers, but a Eulogist is great in this deck, and I have quite a bit of 2-drops already, so feeling it being necessary to fill out my curve a little bit. So I did not open very well. Like, there was no bombs really to take. I ended up taking a off-color rare in one of my packs. I think it's the last pack. No, I didn't open it. I was actually passed it. He passed me the 2-mana rare. Oh yeah, we get paid off here finally for some adherence, which is a fantastic card. They have to deal with it, and I have a lot of graveyard things going on, like putting cards in my graveyard, so it becomes big quick, and that is for sure. This deck was not short of getting there on putting cards in my graveyard. Another okay, passable 4-drop here. Certain matchups where they kind of have to deal with it. Another Grave Shifter. So we got 2 Grave Shifters and a Morkant's Loyalist. So we're doing the thing. Like, we're leaning into the bit, as I say often. But it's, yeah. That was a great pickup. That was probably the best feeling pick that I had this whole draft. Especially since I'm like, didn't get any rares, or I got a lot of the mythics and powerful cards last week with that wild Vivid, I guess it was Vivid Teamer Elementals deck. That deck was insane. Probably the best deck I'll draft all format, that is for sure. Late Blight Rot here. Actually, some pretty good cards in there with the Vivid, the blue Vivid 3/3 flyer. Draws cards based off the Vivid amount. But we ain't blue. Could have been if we would have opened or got past a Marland. I would have definitely just splashed for it. Easy. But no, not quite. There was one at the table, but a buddy of mine that I played Marland against in a boxing event for Lorwyn, he's like, I just snapped that card because you were not going to get it. I was like, I would have definitely played it. And that card will go around just because, like, the mana intensive purposes of the card, and like there is narrowness of it. But if you are elves or kind of like pseudo fairies, whatever, it's an easy include. Drying up here, so not much going on in the end of this pack. So we do get a midnight tilling. I think I played both of them, honestly. Just wanted to make sure cards would get in my graveyard. I had the adherence, which really matters, of getting cards into my graveyard, and then also I still have a full pack left to maybe get that enchantment. And then with the grave shifters and the Morkent's loyalists, I do not mind if I put my bombs in my graveyard, because I more often than not will get them back. Yeah, the conversations I had about this set tonight, kind of like I expressed myself in the way that, like, hey, like, normally I don't, but this set does have legs, and I am glad. I don't mind Universe Beyond, but like I'm almost getting burnt out with like the IPs, like Ninja Turtles. Yeah, I grew up with some Ninja Turtles, but I don't have a big love for it by any means. But that's going to be a rough set of interest for myself. I mean, I'm sure there's going to be cool things to. Hopefully, it's just not like Spider-Man and things like that. Hopefully, there's cool things to do, and like the sneak ability, I think is fun and cool. So opening this was not a great pack for us. Honestly, looking back at it now, I probably should have just cut off like the rare, but the Weaver is actually another recursion spell. So having three, when it enters, if you have three or more creatures, return target creature from your graveyard to your hand. So that's a fourth aspect of just kind of like cycling through cards. Like, I'm willing to trade, and then I get packs the Hexing Squelcher, which I think is still a good amount. Like, I think it's not nothing. It was more just like a money pick, and there was nothing really in that pack that I really cared to play. So that's what we did. Keep what you draft, format. So I'm gonna sometimes take the money cards. I will just sell that back and get my store credit. And like, it's cliche, but like, hey, I bought my draft with this pick. Blah 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 blah, and that does matter. So burning a pick there, and plus, like the card's fine. And limited, it's not like fantastic by any means, but it's also not terrible. How much is that Hexing Squelcher even going for? It's still like $16 base copy. So that is not nothing. I paid for my draft. We did it. Good pickup with the 1-drop Death Touch. Whenever a creature enters, gain a life. That came up a lot, especially in some of the mid-range matchups. Oh, Lord have mercy. Like, those incremental life gains actually huge. I think there was a couple of games where I had over 30 life, and gained. There's some games I think I gained about 15 life, throughout the duration of the game, which is not nothing, especially with like the Eulogist, recurring the Eulogist, bringing it back, draining for 2, and just doing it kind of over and over and over again, like adds up. This deck would have been probably the nuts if I just had one more like bomb or a bomb, because I really didn't have bombs. I was just looking for the value cards and just outvaluing what they had going on, because every game where they kind of got down to 1 or 2 cards, and like I'm still having things going on because I'm just recursion and bringing things back, like I'm just outpacing them at that point, and that goes a long way. That's how this deck wins. So get them out of their stuff and then calling it a day. So this pick, yeah, we take the 5/4. It's going to be in my graveyard a lot, so being able to exile it, make a 2/2 elf doesn't sound terrible. Yeah, this was. I mean, the games are fun. I was sad to leave like in the middle or almost at the end of the draft, but I would have tried to work something out if I would have like won the first two games. Um, but no, 1-1's whatever. Keep your pack because it's a pack per win. So each round you win, you get a pack. It was nothing crazy. I wish they did promos for F&M drafts like they do on some other events. So, but it's all right. It's all right. They also had the limited PTQ. Oh, I'm sorry, RCQ this past weekend or the last weekend. And there was only like they almost didn't fire, which I was like upset because I really wanted to go, but I could not get off of work, and it was catastrophic. Um, so, but didn't get it. It is fine. Beggars can't be choosers. I gotta pay my bills. Gotta take care of my family. Late blight rot here. I love how blight rot's an instant though. Like the card would be so bad if it wasn't. It'd be terrible. Gnarled back elm. Nice card. This card actually had a lot of play in this deck, so it was good to have some access there. Kind of mana intensive, not in the sense of like color pie, but more like you're investing in mana. It's more a mana sink. It's just something to do. It's a bad body when it comes in, but like it can be a 2-for-1, but not really because you're spending like 6 mana to kill something with a toughness 2 or 2 or less. We take another Midnight Tilling. I think that's the second one that I'm having here. So as we kind of finish this draft out, I appreciate you guys hanging out with us. I don't have gameplay today, but we'll get it next time. Here's the deck that we had to kind of show everyone. And once again, if you guys like this kind of stuff, like this content, please like, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate you guys so much. But yeah, we will catch you guys all in the next video. Hope you enjoyed the 30th episode. Later.